Okay, so I'm in here. I looked at that. Elevator up. Which journal do they want me? Yeah, I'm still doing this small grave matter. Alright, I have to go inside. Yummy. Sprats go in the grinder. And how about on the walkway here? What do we got? Phyllis Granger.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy.
Gravesite fees. I'm here to collect.
Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment.
These papers aren't signed in your name.
Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill.
You have to pay for your neighbor's gravesite fees?
If you're not familiar with board law, you ought to be. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker.
You said this guy shot himself?
Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable.
Must be tough losing a family member. Sorry for your loss.
Eugene wasn't family.
But I thought you said you were his closest living relative.
Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see, so I pay the fines. Suicide's a crime. The legal
Well,
term
that's
is irreparable
messed up.
damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism.
You can't be serious.
I'm plenty serious. In fact, I'm a little upset Eugene didn't think things through. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice.
This Eugene guy sounds like he was a bit more trouble than he was worth.
All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
Alright, well, I'll let you get back to work in this crazy cannery. So how are we doing here on this quest? Small grave matter. Ludwig is one of the 4 people sent. He's stationed to guard. Okay, yeah. So we need to go get his fees. Hi. Now, how do we get out of this place? A model spaceship. I'm not going to steal it. There we go. Okay. Yes, this is the door I want. Looks like we can come down. Oh, what do we got here?
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff.
What are you babbling on about?
The war! The coming apocalypse! Man versus machine! I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
Just my luck. I ask for backup and the boss sends me one of them simple folk. All right. Listen real close. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant. Clattering about. Firing at the birds. Orchestrating their uprising.
Shooting at the birds?
When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the resistance?
Look, Silas sent me. You owe me your gravesite fees.
I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling.
Yeah, you could tell yourself that. He sure did. And he's asking for a little extra to furnish the resistance with mechanical repellent.
Mechanical repellent! A stroke of inspiration from the law itself. Here, I've been saving up a couple bits for just such a project.
Alright, I'll let you be. Let's get back to, what are we doing now? Go into our journal. Return to Silas. Hey,
Fancy
Silas.
threads. That some kind of hibernation suit?
We need to talk about Eugene.
Yeah? What about him?
I read a letter from Phyllis. She mentioned digging up for his gold teeth.
Yeah. Funny thing, Eugene's body ain't where it's supposed to be. The night we was supposed to commend his body to the earth, I had his grave all dug up and ready, right? And so I thought, I'll just rest my eyes a bit. When I woke up, his body was gone. Spirited away. Vanished. The footprints nearby suggested that Eugene was stolen by marauders. Or he rose from the dead.
Rose from the dead sounds, yeah. I'll keep an eye out for him, I guess.
Let me know if you find anything.
Hey, about those fees you wanted.
You run into any trouble?
Nah, not really much. I'm all done. Paperwork, fees, signatures.
Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to.
Abernathy was trying to hide his own illness.
Abernathy was sick? With the plague? That's disgusting. I shook hands with the guy.
He was convinced you knew.
What? No. If I knew he was sick, I would have had him reported. I needed his fees because of his name. A for Abernathy. He was at the top of my list, you see?
I did go out of my way for you.
And I'll buy you a drink sometime.
Was hoping for something a bit more tangible.
Oh, suppose you've earned it. One good turn deserves another.
Alright, you take care. And level 3. So, let's put some points into ranged. Always into ranged. And let's go into lockpicks as well, and 1 point more into dialogue. There we go. Let's go in here and find out about our engine. So, head over to our journal here and find a power right, the unreliable. You've learned that a man named Reed Tops is in charge of Edgewater. He might be able to help you find a part you need to fix the ship. And he's up there at the top of that tower, I believe. So let's go to the cannery and take this elevator up.
Miss Holcomb, I need you to explain this to me. The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The can's bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
Seriously, you
It
can't
puts food in
grasp
cans.
this?
We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
Yeah, are you Reed? I was told I should talk to you.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
I think you have the wrong idea about me.
Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
My ship needs repairs, pal. I'm just looking for a power regulator.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Let me guess. You want me to do something for you before you help me.
My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
When you say mostly abandoned, exactly what do you mean?
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
I don't think these people will kindly take to losing their power, legal or not.
No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness.
Really?
The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
Why?
Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations.
None of what you're telling me is my problem.
It's our problem, not yours, but I'm asking for your help. If those workers don't come back, Edgewater is going to collapse. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
And how will I recognize Adelaide?
Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
You're asking me to cut off the power to an entire community.
I am asking you to help us survive. Edgewater needs more workers or we will collapse. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
All right, Reed, I'll see what I can do to help you.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll take her along. I could use the company.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that.
Hairpins.
Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Let's get going. Yeah. Aren't you adopted or something? You lost your mother, she left the planet?
Hey, mister, can we talk?
Oh, you want to
Sorry.
talk now?
Can we? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
Figures. Reed didn't exactly strike me as the most honest soul.
Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
Well, how well did you know the deserters? You worked with them? You were friends? What?
I don't know anybody well. I mostly listened to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident.
Did you know this Adelaide Reed mentioned?
Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place.
I mean, you can't leave it at that. Why were they arguing?
Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if you can get out to her.
I'm sure those deserters are some very fine people. So what?
Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. It don't seem right to me, mister. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
The vicar? What do we need to talk to the vicar about? Flipping a switch in your power mill?
About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe he found something that'll help. It's just an idea. That's all.
Alright, I suppose it couldn't hurt. We'll stop by the vicar.
Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Well, your dad sounds like a smart man. Okay, so we gotta find the vicar. There we go. Are you keeping up?
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Well, they do tend to keep churches clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto, at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar de Soto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town?
Well, Parvati wanted to talk to you about what Reed asked us to do.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Cut off the power to Adelaide's deserters.
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
So, what do you think of Adelaide's group, Vicar?
They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
So what are you advising?
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Right. Just talk everybody into coming together? I'll keep that in mind.
If it were as easy as a few soothing words in the right ears, I'm sure it would have been done already. Consider it a challenge. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume.
I've been outside. I'm not impressed, and I can handle myself better than a vicar.
The marauders I met when I ventured outside the walls might agree with you. Bastards snuck up on me while I was dutifully hunting for a banned book in a collector's library. Barely escaped with my life. But you see, one of the reasons I transferred here was to get my hands on that heretical text. If you managed to acquire it for me, I'd pay quite a handsome sum for the book.
A handsome sum? Tell me more.
It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious?
So why would a vicar be after a banned heretical book?
I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption.
Seems to me the authorities would be interested to hear you're after this contraband text, Vicar.
On the contrary, my position means that I am one of the few legally allowed to possess such items. But do not worry. You'll be safe since you are acting on my behalf.
Well, on your behalf. Maybe I'll get your book and sell it to somebody else.
I can assure you, you won't find another willing to risk imprisonment to possess this book, nor anyone willing to pay the price I can offer.
All right, you make a compelling argument.
Glad we see eye to eye.
I'll look for your book.
Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
All right, so Parvati.
Something you need?
You mentioned something earlier that I wanted to ask you
You mean about the mission being too clean?
Yeah, exactly. Isn't it supposed to be clean? I mean, it's a church.
I know, but Vicar says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vicar sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass.
Well, that's more of an ideal, not what we live in, but what we strive for.
It just comes off cold to me, is all.
All right, well, let's get back to it. Probably going to see some action, so I hope you're good with a gun. All right, let's get our gun out just to be safe. Are any of these places open? What do we got here?
No! Not even a scratch.
Sprats are vicious, aren't they?
Something you need?
I noticed you mention your dad a lot, but never your mother.
That's on account of how I never met her.
You mean she's dead?
I don't rightly know. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
That's inhuman.
It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers.
Alright, we'll talk later. I have a feeling we're going to be walking into some trouble soon.
Okay, gone quiet.
Yeah, let's go quietly. Why am I whispering? So I don't see anybody, but I keep thinking there's going to be somebody up ahead. Oh, there they are. Right, these houses are sealed. So we got one sitting, one standing. Anybody else about?
I'm ready for this. Last one. Everyone all right?
Alright, I think we got him. Got minor damage, that should re-heal on its own. Oh, I see somebody. There's one. There's gotta be more than one, right? Yeah, there's another one.
Okay, here we go. Down we go. That's gotta hurt.
Alright, you good per body? Look good. I think we got them all. Okay, clear these bodies. Take it all. And we do have some more bad guys. Let's go with the assault rifle. I got lots of bullets.
Here we go! That's the last of them!
Alright, good job, Parvati. That's kind of it. Let's go around back and see if there's anything a little bit better. Oh, and there's some treasures back here, too. Here's a door. Get rid of that. Get it. Come on. There we go. And rid of these mines. And what is this? Seriously, there's nothing on this dude? Well, what was they protecting back here? Cartridge, weapon parts, armor parts. That's it? Well, that stunk. Let's try this other door. See if we can sneak in there a little easier. Okay, let's get down.
Not a peep from me.
So, I can unbar these. Oh, there's people in there. How about in here? Optional first aid key is needed. So we'll come around to this room.
I'm ready for this! Got them all!
Why do you jump in front of me? You know, I'm gonna shoot you in your ass and then you're gonna get pissed off at me. Any other goodies? Grab it. Grab it. Oh, so there's definitely somebody in here. Body, get out of the way.
That's the last of them!
We really got to talk about your cover fire. Alright, so what is this? Salt tuna. Okay, whatever. this is Primals. Fashioned to resemble a pair of mighty primals requiring extensive field research, let us have a moment of silence for the researchers who gave their lives in the pursuit of authenticity. Okay. Canids can be found all over Emerald Vale in two distinct varieties, domesticated and feral. Feral canids hunt in packs, while domesticated canids can be loyal companions. It is important to remember that the canid is still a wild animal, should be treated with caution. And we have something here behind a curtain. Can't quite see. Feast your eyes on the great frilled mantiqueen, sovereign of her nest, imported from the wilds of Terra 1. I wonder if there's a way to get back in there. Apparently you can't break the glass though. Okay. Alright, this is the one we unlocked. So I did get a key. Alright. Music box. Guess that'd be something to sell. Oh, wrong button. Experimental anthrocillin. Oh, level 4. So what do we get for level 4? Skills. We got 10 points available. I think we'll need to put some... Okay, so we have a penalty in stealth from the armor. So let's see if we can bring that back up. But I do want to get some in leadership because it improves my companion health and abilities. No, I'm afraid we're just going to have to go with what we got now. I want ranged as well. And we got another perk. Let's go with the armor rating. So I think we have everything cleared out here. We got the medical sin. Did I check this side over here? Yes, it's all checked. Except for this one I missed. That one was not checked. Guide to Mechanical Engineering Volume 1. The Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Dense Inspect. So partly it's part of a quest. We'll hang on to that. Alright, so let's check our journal here. Turn in the medicine. Now we want to go for the illustrated manual. Alright, so we are out back. Let's go ahead and move to the front and save.